Good morning, welcome to Furry and Spoilt. Today I'm going to talk to you about how to stop dogs being scared of fireworks. Oh, look at these lovely flowers. Isn't that beautiful? Look. Sorry, nothing on the subject, but let me just show you this beautiful little selection of flowers on my walk this morning. Lovely English meadow. That's beautiful. So the firework situation with me is Albert couldn't really care less about them, but Harry does get very upset about them. Now, we live for all his life, we've lived in a place where I'll show you the meadow for the moment because it's just beautiful. We've lived in a place where there weren't really any fireworks, few but nothing major. Harry was a bit upset about it, but nothing major. And then we moved, and this little darling here, there was just so many fireworks. It was really, really bad for about 2 weeks over bonfire night, and Harry was really, really bad. I'm going to take you back over to this meadow because it's beautiful. And Harry was really, really bad with them. I mean, it was terrible. And there's all the standard stuff you can try, and I have tried them all. I tried them all, and then I tried them again at New Year, and none of it really worked. And then I came across this dog trainer online on YouTube, and he had this really good idea of using bubble wrap. Let me just get in here and show you these flowers. Aren't they beautiful? Look at them. This is just planted by our council just in our fields where we walk our dogs. They don't have to do it, they just do it. Isn't it beautiful? Look at it. It's a little bit not as good as it could be because it's so dry, so hot and so dry here, but absolutely beautiful. So what I'm going to do when I get home is I'm going to I'll talk you through the kind of the standard advice on fireworks in case you're really, really new to dog ownership. If you're an experienced dog owner, then I would recommend that you fast forward that bit. You'll have heard it all before. And I'll talk to you about my experience of whether or not I think that sort of stuff has worked. And then I will show you this bubble wrap idea. Now, this bubble wrap idea is completely new to me because I've never had it before. Now, I have been trying it a little bit with Harry, and it's going really well, which is why I want to show it to you. And I can't tell you if it works or not because I haven't had fireworks yet. So I can't tell you if it actually works, but I'm going to show you how I've started it and how that's going. Look at this beautiful pink flower here. Gorgeous. See, walking dogs is great. You get out to see stuff like this. Yeah, so far what I've done with the bubble wrap is working really, really well. Where are my dogs? They're over there. And so I'm going to show you how I've done it so far and how it's going. Now, there's different sizes of bubble wrap, and that produces different kinds of sounds. And I'll do it, and you can see how Harry reacts to it as I'm doing it. So I'm going to finish my walk now with my boys, and then, oh, look at this bit. This is a beautiful bit. I'm going to finish my walk now with my boys, and then I'll go home and I will sit down and have a chat with you about all the rest of it, and then show you how to do the bubble wrap thing. So if you're new to dog ownership, I'll talk you through basic standard stuff to do for fireworks because you might find that it works. And if you're an experienced dog owner and like me, you've heard it all before, nothing's working, fast forward a bit once I get home, and you'll be able to, and I'll tell you about this bubble wrap idea. See how you get on with it. So I'll see you in a minute when I get home. Okay, I just want to point out that the rest of the video, the popping doesn't come out as loud on camera as it is in real life. The big bangs that scare my dogs a bit, they are much louder in real life than they come out on the video. And the little popping paper, the sound of the plasticness sounds louder than the actual pops on the camera. It's not. In real life, you can't really hear the plasticky part of it, and the pops are much clearer and much, much louder. So just bear in mind that in the camera, on this video, the pops actually sound really quite quiet and not effective at all. but in real life they're much louder. The camera just didn't pick them up. It's really worth just getting some popping paper yourself, just trying it, and you'll see. So I'll let you get on and watch the video now. Right, so welcome to my little table of stuff. So I'm back from my dog walk. I didn't have my microphone on the dog walk. I forgot to take it, but I thought the sound was kind of okay. You might have had to turn that bit up a bit. I might sound really loud now. So as I was saying, if you are completely new to dog ownership, or you're just new to fireworks, or you need a refresher, I'm going to go through with you some of the classic things that are recommended to help with dogs with fireworks. And I do think they help a bit. However, I've got this new thing, bubble wrap. I'm going to talk to you about that in a bit. So if you're an experienced dog owner and you've tried all the stuff and none of it's worked, fast forward. I'm just going to repeat that. You're not going to need to hear that. Just fast forward to the bubble wrap part. In the description, I will put on there what time I start talking about the bubble wrap. But if you need a refresher, or fear of fireworks is new to you, or you're new to the dog world, listen to this because it might help you. So there's sort of like a set of classic stuff that dog owners do. Now, I don't think they work because so Harry has had mild fear of anxiety for his whole life. But last year it got really extreme because the fireworks got extreme. Before that, I've had lots of sort of dogs that are just generally quite nervous of it. So I've tried all of this stuff. And it works a little bit, and you can't really be sure which product is helping, but I'm just going to go through it with you. So the first thing is DAP. So this works, it's the pheromones that smell the same as the mother's womb. And it's just, where's the logo? Let me show you the logo, it'd be quite useful. Have they not got the logo on there? Oh, okay, well, that's it there. So you see the DAP in the middle. So it's called DAP, it's that there. And it's a plug-in. You can get it in a spray as well. And I do, when firework night is coming up. So last year it was basically went on for 2 weeks. And then we've got New Year's. We don't have 4th of July in UK, thank goodness. But so I plug it in about a week before they're going to start. And I have them plugged in all over the house. And so you just have it wherever your dogs are. So I have about 4 or 5 of them and just have them plugged in all over the house. I can't say for sure whether they work or not. I can't say, I don't know. So therefore I do it. It also comes in a spray, which is handy because you could spray it around their bed or wherever they sleep. And I have that as well. Now the other thing is Zilkey. Now again, so I hadn't used it before. When last firework night kicked off, sort of took me by surprise. I didn't think it would be so bad here, but it was. I started using this Zilkeen for New Year, and I think I started, it tells you on the packet, but I think you start about a week before the actual event. And again, it's made of like the mother's milk. It's all very natural. I can't say if it worked or not. I can't say. Now, some people use DAP and Zilkeen and swear by it and be like, yeah, my dog's completely different, completely relaxed. I don't know. So you're just going to have to try that, really. What I would recommend is that you have these two at the same time as when I talk about the popping. I'm so excited about this popping paper thing because it makes sense to me that why that would make, and I do. I think everyone says it, I think like a dog. I spend all my time with dogs. I think like a dog. And it makes sense to me why that would work. What I do want to say is I'm really against going to the vets and getting dogs drugged up because you're basically taking away the ability for them to show the fear. It doesn't mean they're not showing the fear. And I know a dog who is drugged up on them, and you can just tell something's really not right with him. And there were groups trying to get those tablets banned so that vets can't give them to dogs because it's almost cruel. That's just my opinion, Now, let me have a quick look at my... now the other thing, and I think this could be quite effective. You go onto YouTube, put in their fireworks, and you'll get videos that go on for like 3 or 4 hours of sounds of fireworks. You can get gunshots, car backfiring, all sorts of things. And I do think having that on quietly in the background kind of does help. But the whole principle of this bubble wrap thing is that, I'll talk about it properly in a minute, is that if they can see what the noise is, then you're going to take away the fear. And that makes so much sense to me. And the problem, so therefore the problem with the fire, should we go and have a little look at Pickle while I'm talking about this boring bit? Here's my Pickle boy. So the whole problem with the fireworks CDs or fireworks on YouTube is that they're hearing it, but they're still not understanding what it is. And that's where the fear comes from, is that it's like, what is that noise that keeps happening? They don't know what it is. That's where the fear's coming from. And that's why I think the bubble wrap thing is going to work. I'm so excited about it. I think it's going to work. So again, I think having, you know, YouTube videos on in the background, it might desensitise them a little bit, but it don't make sense to me why it wouldn't actually stop it altogether. I don't know what that noise was. Right, so now I'm going to start talking about, the last thing I want to talk about, this is really important. Let's go back to Harry for this. Let's go around and see the front of him. Your energy. Now, I have to confess, sorry, all my shoes, there's some more bubble wrap on the floor. We've got bubble wrap everywhere. There's a Pickle boy there behind the plant. I have to confess, when the fireworks went off last year and it completely threw me, I wasn't expecting it to be so bad. My energy could have been an awful lot better. And because I'm prepared for it this year, I'm going to be calm, I'm going to be blasé, going to be like, it's no big deal. Because it threw me last year and Harry was so scared, I was very concerned about him and I wasn't prepared. I didn't expect the fireworks to be so bad here when we moved, because for like the last 10 years or whatever, where we lived before, there was hardly any, and it really, really threw me. So I think energy is absolutely everything above all else. If you can give them the best medication in the world, all the stuff. If your energy is scared, they're going to just be feeding off that. And I think that is the hardest thing out of it all, to just be blasé and not be like concerned for them. Because when they're scared, of course we're going to be concerned. That's the main point of us. And I think absolutely get yourself sorted. So what I'm going to be doing this year, I'm going to have some classical music on, nice and relaxed. Don't be drinking or anything like that to get relaxed. You need to be on your game, but nice and relaxed, nice and calm. Lavender oil, I'll rub some lavender oil in me. I'll be nice and chilled, get in my pyjamas, read a nice book, be really relaxed. That's my main thing that I'm going to be doing this year. Right, let's get talking about bubble wrap. So if you just joined me because you fast forwarded all the other stuff, it might be worth just rewinding a tiny little bit, because I talk about energy and I think that that's quite important. So bubble wrap. So there is a dog trainer on YouTube that I've come across, and he is saying that if the dog can understand where the noise is coming from, you take away the fear. That makes so much sense to me. That absolutely makes so much sense. So this is going to have to be a part 1 and part 2 video, because obviously firework night isn't here, so I can't tell you how it went. Now, I didn't want to wait, and originally I was going to wait until firework night had come and record it as one great big video, but I thought I don't want to do that, because if you want to help now, you can do this with me and potentially get your dog through firework night a lot easier. So bubble wrap, in my day we called this popping paper, but it's bubble wrap. It sounds just like fireworks when it goes off. And what's really good about it is that you can have different sounds, different volumes of sounds. So you can just have little bits. Like in a minute, I'm going to do it and show you how his reaction. You can have little lumps here. Like I just got this from Tesco's when I did my weekly shopping. Got a roll of bubble wrap, and you can see that the I don't know what you call these, the bubbles I suppose, are tiny, and that just produces a little like a little pop, which I'll do in a minute. And then from Amazon, I got these great big, like this, look, great big ones like that, and that makes a much louder pop. Now what we've discovered is, in my house, when I do this big one, it makes a quieter pop. When my husband does it, it's a sharper bang, and that's really, really good. So I've already started training with my boys. Now, like I've said before, Albert, my other dog, he's not so fussed about fireworks. He was getting a bit upset because Harry was upset, but really not that fussed. But Albert, but little Pickle down here, my little Harry, he was really scared. So I've been doing the training with both of them, And first of all, when I started popping this, they were quite jumpy and quite scared. And I'm going to tell you what I did, and then I'm going to actually do it. I just sat down in front of them with the popping paper, tin of treats, broken up into tiny little bits so they weren't getting a whole load of treats. And I just popped the paper quite fast, and you'll see in a minute how it does sound like fireworks. And then in a minute I'm going to pop a big one for you as well. So if you've got a dog in the room, I would get them, go somewhere where your dog isn't, because this does sound like fireworks and you need to do this in a controlled manner, and let them sniff the popping paper. So I'm just going to, while Pickle is just here, I'm just going to do it and you'll see his reaction, and then I'm going to sit down, call my other dog Albert in, and sit down and do it properly with you. So if you can see, doesn't that sound like fireworks? Now he's sniffing it. Next door, oh, the bin men are here, so that's kind of, oh, you might have frozen there for a moment. The bin men are here, so that might, sorry, my video's going a bit peculiar. I think we're okay now to carry on. Right, so doesn't this sound like fireworks? And you can see how he hasn't even reacted. When I very first did that to him, he was quite jumpy about it. And what's really, the thing is, to do it and then let them sniff it. Obviously don't let them eat it because it's plastic, but do it. Can you, now I'm a little bit, I'm pretty gutted that the sound of the actual plastic is quite loud, because I think that takes away from the popping part of it. But if you listen to that, doesn't that sound like fireworks? Listen. Try and crunch it up. And let me show you what I'm doing. All I'm doing is look, so you just do that. It does hurt your hands a bit, I gotta admit, it does hurt your hands a bit. And they're not even reacting to that. And if you come over here, look, I've got this other stuff here that's got bigger holes. And you just, like anything you buy these days has got bubble wrap in it, and you see that? Doesn't that sound like fireworks? Now, if I had both of my hands, I could make this better, but because I've got to hold the camera, I can't do as much of a good job on it. Now, I'm just going to call Albert in, and I'm just going to show you how I am doing this with them. You can see Pickle's really not that bothered. In a minute, I'm going to do a louder one. Albert, can you come here? Boys, come here. Right, so let me just call them in. Albert, can you come here, darling? Oh no, don't be eating trees. Right, here he comes. Here comes little Albert. Where's little Albert? Come on, darling. There we go. Right, so what you need to do is just sit them down in front of you. Have your little pot of treats ready. Really tiny little bits. So look, so get your little treats, really tiny little bits. So I'm just sorting out my treats here. And I'm going to... Harry, no, don't eat the treats. No, don't eat them up. No. Harry, come here. Right, sit. Good boy. You wait there nicely like a good boy. So then make your treats just a tiny little pile. Look, so they're getting the diddiest little bits. And then go back to them. But isn't that good? He's sitting right in front of the treat pot and he's not taking one. That's a very good boy. Now, all I'm going to do is, I need to be further back from them because you can't see what they're doing. Right, let me come further back from them. No, and they're following the treats. Right, and all they've got to do is don't give them any commands. They don't have to do anything. All they have to do is hear the popping and be okay with it. Now, this looks quite rubbish now as a training exercise, but when I was very first doing it, they were quite scared of the popping. They were quite scared of the popping. But Albert, can you come over here? Right, Albert, no. Oh my goodness me. Right, Albert, I want everyone to sit. Sit. Albert, sit. Good boy. Now you can have a treat. Right, this is not going according to plan. Let me do this differently. Right, I'm going to stand up. Right, so when I very first did it with them, I sat down with them and just popped the paper merrily away. and then let them sniff the plastic and get used to it, and then I would give them a treat. And they've got really, really used to the popping paper now, and so they really don't seem that fussed about it. And in a minute I'm going to pop some big ones and we'll see how we go with that. Good boys, that's very good boys. So what I'm going to do is, they're waiting nicely, so I'm going to do some popping. I don't know how well the camera's picking this up. Can you hear how well that sounds like fireworks? Now, I can't do a very good job on it because I've only got one hand. But if you've got both of your hands, well, I've got two hands, but you know what I mean, I'm using my other hand for the camera. And if you've got two hands, you can get a really good pop on it. Well, this is what I'm going to do. I'm going to put my camera down and I'm going to try and demonstrate to you how it sounds if you've got two hands. I'm going to stand you up over here. I've got no idea how this is going to go. You might just be looking at the floor. Yeah, I think you are just looking at the floor. All right, you just look at the floor for a minute. My video skills are incredible, aren't they? Spielberg's going to come and get me soon. All right, listen to how this sounds if you've got two hands. You see how much that sounds like fireworks. And then I just give the boys a treat because they were very good. There was nothing to be worried about. That's good. Right, now we're going to go and get the louder stuff. Obviously build your dog up slowly, because I've already done the training with the other stuff and you could see they weren't bothered about it, but they did used to be bothered about it. Get them used to that, and then you get yourself some of this big stuff. You're going to get through quite a lot of this because it's obviously you only get one bang out of a thing. Now I definitely can't bang this one-handed, so what we'll have to do is come over here. I'm going to have to put you on the counter and just so you can just hear the sound. Remember, if you've got a dog in the room, go to a different room because you don't want them to get scared about you prepared. Right, so just keep, the odd treat as you're going, just so that it's all a happy memory. Right, I'm going to put you on the counter. Again, you will be able to experience my absolutely amazing video skills. There we go, look. Don't get much better than that, does it? Right, okay, so now you're going to get the pop of the big one. That was quite loud and it startled Albert. So I'm going to give Albert a treat and we're going to give Harry a treat. Yay, good boys. That startled them. Let me try and do it with one hand. It would be really good if you could see their reaction. Brilliant. Did you see? That concerned them. And now that's great that it concerned them. Look, it's just plastic. That's all it was. It's really important that after you pop it, you show it to them so they see what it is. Right, bear with me. I'm going to go and get another one. And I'm going to do that again because that concerned Albert, and that's really, really good because it means it concerned him, and then we can make it better. I have to admit, I don't normally pop them that loud. That's getting better. If you can't do it yourself, just get, someone. I mean, mind you, I'm strong. I mean, I lift weights. I'm strong. It's quite hard to do it. Right, okay, ready again. I'm going to come back a bit so you can see them. Now, Albert's looking a little bit worried. Now, this is good, though, that he's looking a little bit worried because it means that it won't, if he doesn't look worried, it's not going to work. So, oh, sorry, I can't pop it. Let me try again. Hold on, any minute. Brilliant. Hey, yay, woohoo. Make it all happy. It's all exciting. Yay, woohoo. Look, make sure they can sniff it. Make sure they can see. Albert, look. Albert, look. Don't get all excited. Yay, woohoo. Now, Albert has autism, and when he gets a little bit overwhelmed with stuff, he spins, which I stop immediately. I can stop immediately. You see, he spins. He's with me 100% of the time. And so if he starts spinning, I can just stop it. There we go. Now, that says to me that Albert, come here, sweetheart. It's all right. It's all right, baby. Come here. It's all right. Now, what this... there we go. So gorgeous. Oh, dear. He's a gorgeous boy. Yeah, he's a gorgeous boy. Okay, so that says to me immediately that that's made him anxious. Now, that, in a way, is a really, really good... Oh, dear, getting all mangled up. In a way, that's a really, really good thing. Because what that tells me is that that noise replicated something that was scary to him. And that means I've got the chance to make it better. Look at... You're just looking up at the trees. Looking up at the trees. It means I've got the chance to work on that. But what it does tell me is I'm going to have to go a lot slower with Albert. So I've never really talked about Albert and his autism on the video. I've really got to get around to doing it. But little Albert. He has autism. He has dog autism, exactly the same as humans can have it. And he can get overwhelmed. And when he does get overwhelmed, he spins. And in a way, I like it because it means I immediately know that something's too much for him, and then I'm immediately able to stop it. I can stop him spinning just by touching him, and he completely stops. Like I said, he's with me all the time. Everywhere I go, he comes all the time. They both are. And it just means that if ever that happens, then I can just stop it immediately. So, but the fact that... So the thing is, if your dog doesn't react at all to the popping paper, then you've got nothing to work on to make it better. But because my dogs were bothered by the big bangs, that means I've got something to work on. So up until now, I've been working on the small popping paper. And then you saw how relaxed they were about that. They didn't care. But you saw, as soon as I started bringing in the bigger popping paper, how that alerted them and that concerned them. So what I'm going to do now is every day at 2 o'clock after lunch, I do some kind of training session with them. And I'm going to work on that every single day now until those pops can be going off and there's nothing. They're not bothered about it. Now, because it concerned Albert, how many did I do there? Maybe 4, and then it got a little bit too much for him. So what I'm going to do is we'll just do 1 a day, and I'll just do 1 a day, and we'll keep going at 1 a day. Oh, there's a wasp. And we'll keep going at 1 a day. Now, what was interesting is that Harry didn't seem that bothered. This is little pickle boy here. Can I just tell you about something with Harry? He's got eye skank. See the stuff in his eyes? That is not because of his diet. He has, if you look at what I feed my dogs, he is on the best diet. Do you know what it is? I've discovered it's because he's eating the bird seed from the back garden. I feed the birds. They throw the seed on the floor and he's been eating it, and therefore it's a cereal. So when I say don't feed your dog cereals because it creates itchy skin and hot spots, this is a classic example of that. Now, he's not getting itchy skin, he hasn't got hot spots. But it just shows you how the body doesn't like it and it reacts badly to it. So I've had to rearrange the garden so him and the birds are separated. So that's completely off topic, but I just wanted to point it out. Something I wanted to point out. So my plan going forward now is I'm going to do 1 pop a day, build it up to 2 pops 3 days. So at the moment we are on the 26th of July. So I've got a few months to go. I've got time to play around with this until I can get to the point where, because now I'm at the point where with the smaller popping, I can just walk around the house doing that and they don't even care. They don't make any notice. I want to get to the point where I can just walk around, pop in the big one, and they're not bothered. What's vitally important though is when you do the big pops, or the little pops, that you straight away let them sniff the plastic. They have to know where the sound came from. Then what should happen, and this completely makes sense to me, is that when fireworks happen, they're just going to think, oh, it's the plastic popping. And you should be fine. Now, you know, I've been around dogs for years and years and years. I am obsessed with dogs. Always got dogs around me. And this, I understand dogs, and this makes perfect sense to me. This just makes so much sense to me that this would work. And like I said, I don't like to see Albert do the spin. I don't like that at all. But at the same time, I'm pleased because I was able just to stop it. And it means that I should be able to stop any anxiety around firework night. So I've really got high hopes for this. So what I'll do is I will record an update video. I'll do part 2, maybe when I've got to the point where I can just be walking around the house, popping the big ones, and they couldn't care less. I'll record a video at that point. And then there's the big one, isn't there? There's the actual bonfire night. Look at my little Albert, gorgeous little boy. Did the firework plastic thing scare you? I'm sorry, sweetheart, but it's going to help you. It's going to help you on bonfire night. yeah, then we'll record the big one on bonfire night, and I won't record as it's happening because obviously I want to be focused on the boys, but I will record afterwards and tell you how it went. What I'll do is I'll record my setup before, how I've set things up, how I'm feeling about it, how I'm working on my energy. Then I'll go through it with them. Although it's 2 weeks long, so you might get to see it. I might record some of it. We'll see how we go. But I'll definitely get you updated on that. So if you're watching this in the future, you need to watch part 1, part 2, part 3 to get the whole story of how it went. And if you're watching this now, you're going to have to wait for part 2, and then part 3 isn't going to come out till November. But I wanted to put this video up now so that you could start doing it with me rather than just wait until November when it's too late for you. You'd have to, I wanted to get it so you could at least start now, because I think that's key to this with this bubble wrap. You want it to bring it in months before if you can, if you've got that time, and really get them used to just the sound of it. Can I show you something else quickly? Not related to bonfire at all, but it's such a little helpful thing that I brought. So I don't know if you've been watching my videos, you'll know that I have to stop Albert going out in the garden because, no, not all the time, but at this time I have to, because if you can see out there, my tortoise, and then you can see in the dustpan I put her food, and he wants to go out there and eat it. If I put kale in his dinner, he would be actually horrified. But because it's something to steal from the tortoise, then he loves it. But what I want to show you is this new thing that I've got. So if you have watched my videos before, you know I used to just have like a metal thing that I slid across. But now I've got this. It's actually a fire guard. But isn't that great for keeping dogs? Like if you want the door open like this. Or if you don't want them to go into the kitchen while you're cooking or something like that. Really, really good. And it's just 4 bits and it all folds, so you can fold it around whatever shape you need it to be, and it keeps your dogs from going outside or being in the room or whatever. I'm really, really pleased with it, and it looks nice, which is really good. Anyway, so that's all of that. So with fireworks, please give me your feedback on this, because I'm with you on this. I'm not experienced with this. I don't know how this is going to go. If you're doing it in a different way to me and it's working, can you please let me know? Because, yeah, you can't go out there to steal. You want to go out there and steal the tortoise food. Please let me know, because I really need this to work, because last year was so awful, and I really need this to work. So can you please let me know if you're doing it and how you're getting on with it. If you're not doing it and you're doing all the other stuff, still please let me know how you're getting on with that stuff. But personally, I've tried all that and I didn't get anywhere with it. But other people might well benefit from what you've done. But please, if you're using the bubble wrap technique, can you please let me know? And if you're watching this after bonfire night, please let me know how it went. I'm so interested in this. It's a horrible thing for them. Quick note, I've shut my website down. I'm not doing my website. It just takes too much of my time. And I would rather spend my time on Twitter and Instagram, because I was doing my website and Instagram and Twitter just weren't happening. And I wasn't able to get back to people and stuff like that. And if someone contacts me with a dog problem, I want to be able to help them. So I was stopping the website and concentrating more on social media. Everything's under Furry and Spoilt. And remember, there's hashtag Furry and Spoilt, which I have to say I keep forgetting to use, but it's there so we can all see the little lovelies in your life. Right, so that's it. So I will see you in the next video. Thank you very much for watching. I hope that you have a really lovely day. Goodbye.